brand new Primal Fear right here on your classic metal show from their latest release called Apocalypse. The name of that tune there is called The King of Madness.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, what's that?
I like that.
Yeah, it's Primal Fear. You know, obviously their earlier career started out as almost like a Judas Priest clone.
Mm-hmm.
But as each album progresses, they more and more develop their own sound.
Yeah, they have. They've developed a way. And, you know, we were just talking about it in the chat room. I think they had a couple of down records, but they've really come back. You know, this new record is great. I thought Rule Breaker was pretty good, the one before this. But some of that stuff in the middle, like Seven Seals or whatever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a little kind of iffy. But they're back, and I'm liking it, and it's good stuff.
Well, I think in the middle they were trying to transition from being a Judas Priest clone to finding their own sound.
Yeah.
And I think they've kind of hit their stride at this point.
Yeah, well, Ralph changed his vocals. That's the big thing, is that, you know, if you listen to anything off the debut or Nuclear Fire or what was the one, Jaws of Black or whatever that one was called? I forget what it's called. But those early records, it was all screams. It was all high vocals.
Yeah, it was Rob Halford.
Yeah, and now he doesn't do that anymore. Now he only sets up the high vocal. He only uses the high vocal, you know, once it's been set up. He uses the low vocal to set up the high end stuff. So so they did transition, but I love it. I'm still on the Primal Fear train, man. I love them.
Well, I think they're a solid band.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this particular release probably has some of the best production.
Oh yeah,
that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that kind of goes back to something that took place mostly in the 60s, 70s, and into the earlier or to the later part of the 80s was that the artist development. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Artists never stayed, well, the later artists, I guess, did not benefit from artist development. Like if their first or second record was a flop, that was the end.
Oh, yeah.
And if a record label, and I'm not saying that Primal Fear has any kind of like big money behind them because I don't really know, and I seriously doubt it.
They're on Frontiers, so no.
No. So, but the thing is that back in the day when a artist became a known artist is because a record label put money and time behind them because they believed in what they could do.
Right.
And they would develop them to become I guess to use a cliche term, a hit maker, which is the reason why we even know anything about them.
Right, sure.
Because if they were an obscure band that never had any hits and didn't get played on the radio or didn't make our favorite music magazines,
right,
they would never have, come to our conscious as even existing.
And if you look back in the 70s, 80s, whatever, those bands, there's a lot of those bands that had 3, 4, 5 records before they ever hit. You know, that doesn't happen anymore. That hasn't happened in a long time. But, I mean, dude, I always point to Journey. I mean, how many records did Journey have before they had a hit?
Yeah, they had, they started in, 74?
Yeah, they had Journey, Look Into the Future, Journey Next. You know, those records didn't do dick.
No, not until, 77 did they finally, get a hit.
Yeah, let me look. I'm just curious what their first hit was. What would their first hit have been? Like Wheel in the Sky or something?
No, I would think it would Feeling That Way or something.
Maybe.
It was before Greg Rowley left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How would I even look that up? Journey's radio hits. Let's see what we got here. Journey chart history. Maybe that. And of course it doesn't want to load. You jizzbag. Come on. It won't load. All right, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up here real quick.
Not finding it. I could probably tell from the albums. I'm a fan. So it would have been Infinity, album number 4.
All right, so it took them 4 deep to finally...
Yeah, because they would have had their first hit would have either been... I mean, the hits on this were Lights, Feeling That Way Anytime, and Wheel in the Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Were the hits on Infinity. And that would have been their first, I would think. I'm looking here. Other Pop... Patiently was the first song they wrote together. That wasn't a hit, was it? Patiently? I mean, I love that song, but I don't know that was a hit. Here I stand so patiently. Now, first hit was Wheel in the Sky. Chart position number 57. God, that's all it did was 57? And then Anytime was 83 and Lights was 68. And then they were off and running from there. God damn.
Well, it took into their 4th release to get any kind of recognition, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't have anything on these Next and Look into the Future. And I mean, I didn't even think that those are all before Steve Perry was even in the band. You know, you ever listen to those records? They're good, but not that good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless, Primal Fear has, finally come full circle there, and they're just, they stand on their own now.
Right.
As opposed to relying on a familiar sound per se.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They've got their own sound now.
Sure. I agree.
All right. Well, just asking your opinion here.
Okay.
Of all the events, and I'm not saying that they're all like festive things, of all the events, where would be the most ironic place to die?
The most ironic place to die?
Yeah, to pass away. During what kind of an event in your mind? Think about it.
Wow.
Irony here.
So it'd have to be something to do with like life. Like,
or,
I don't know,
or
a baptism or something, or a hospital, or like the like having, like being in the room while your kid is having a kid or something.
Or in the same room as death.
What, like like a funeral that your wife's dying at or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Dying at a funeral.
Yeah, that would suck.
So you're at a funeral and then you die, so it just kind of compounds the thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, anyway, apparently contaminated food kills at least 9 people at a funeral.
Jesus, 9?
9.
Holy smokes.
At least 9 people died and dozens more became ill after eating contaminated food at a Peruvian funeral.
Wow.
Initial tests by the country's health department found insecticides in the food served to mourners on Monday in a Peruvian region. I can't even pronounce these words, so I'm not going to try.
Right.
Officials investigating the case have taken samples of the testing the food and the beverage that were served to determine the exact contaminants, according to a statement from the health ministry.
Right.
52 people became ill, according to Peru's civil defense agency. A statement from the health ministry said that 2 of the victims, a 2-year-old baby and a pregnant woman, are both expected to make full recoveries.
Mm-hmm.
My condolences and solidarity with the families of the deceased who died from suspected food poisoning, the Minister of Health said in an official tweet.
Oh, good, a tweet.
A tweet.
Good.
Social media has taken over everything, hasn't it?
It has.
There's no phone calls made these days, no cards sent, no nothing. It's just like, hey, sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Hashtag you're dead. It's like, fuck. How about in a statement?
Right.
Remember back in the old days when everything was, so-and-so said in a statement that this was a terrible loss.
Right.
Now it's so-and-so said on Twitter.
Right.
LOL, family is dead. Hashtag sucks to be you. And it's like, fuck, what is this? Stupid.
The ages of the deceased range from 12 to 78 years old.
Wow.
Peru's Civil Defense Agency said that the number of patients had been evacuated from the southern Andes region to the capital of Lima, or Lima, I guess they call it down there, Lima.
That's Lima.
Lima.
Sounds like a shithole like Lima, though.
Yeah, probably is. Probably had feces in the food.
Yeah. In Lima or Lima.
Both.
Yeah.
All right. Are you familiar with the MoMo doll?
The MoMo doll?
Yeah, MoMo.
No, but I'll look it up. MoMo doll. Let's see what that's about. All right. Looks like a Star Wars character type thing.
Well, it's kind of a goofy looking, I don't know what you want to call it. It's kind of almost looks like an alien figure with hair, and it's got almost got like talons, like a vulture or eagle or something.
All right, I'm looking at it. MoMo doll. Okay. Looks like something out of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, the rise of the MoMo doll, that is a terrifying doll-like character used in controversial suicide games.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Suicide games.
That's not the MoMo doll in the chat room, is it?
Let me take a look here.
That's not what you're talking about.
No, that is not the MoMo doll.
You're talking about... I'll find one. You're talking about this fucking thing. Copy image address. This. Paste. And of course it doesn't load. This fucking chat room. What are you doing paying for the shit? Save images. Hold, please. Desktop. Outload it this way. Fucking piece of shit. Add photo. There. This.
Yes, that would be the MoMo doll.
All right, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of an alien-looking thing with hair.
Right.
Kind of a bizarre-looking thing.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
But anyway, it's used in controversial suicide games, and it spreads fear online as social media users crown the viral figure the Slender Man of 2018.
Dude, have you watch this? I'm gonna put another picture in here. This is the woman that's considered the ugliest woman in the world.
Okay.
She kind of looks like the MoMo doll.
Maybe it was patterned after her.
There she is.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a real MoMo doll.
She looks like a MoMo doll.
Yeah. All right. An incredibly creepy character described as the Slender Man of the 2018 is spreading terror.
Terror.
How often have you been terrified on social media?
Never.
Is spreading terror across the internet after being used as the face of a shocking online suicide game.
Okay.
What is the end? Who gets the prize at the end of a suicide game?
The parents,
I guess. MoMo is the name of both the doll-like creature and the viral challenge she features in, which encourages kids to add a contact on WhatsApp. Are you familiar with WhatsApp?
I've not used it successfully.
What is it?
It's like a phone calling thing. Or maybe it has video as well. Some of the publicists want us to do interviews with people with WhatsApp.
Okay.
I tried. I forget who I was trying to interview, and I tried using it, and I couldn't get it to fucking work.
Why, is Skype not good enough?
Apparently not. So in fucking Norway or somewhere was on WhatsApp.
All right. So Skype is not available in Norway.
I don't know. I don't remember why it was WhatsApp, but I tried it and I couldn't get it to fucking work.
All right. There's just so many platforms these days.
Yeah.
I got to ask the question, and you're a tech guy, you should know. Mm-hmm. What makes the one platform so much better than the other one?
Well, it depends on what the app is, really.
Well, let's just say WhatsApp. You kind of indicated that it's a telephone/video thing.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what Skype is?
Well, that is what Skype is, but Skype is, to me, Skype is easier. But there's people that don't want to have anything to do with Microsoft.
Oh, so it's a snobbery thing.
Well, they'll switch to the same thing. What's the difference between Facebook and Twitter?
Well, Facebook is a little bit different. It's a page as to where Twitter is just a message.
You have a page on Twitter.
Can you have a page on Twitter?
We have a page on Twitter. Twitter.com/The Classic Metal Show.
It's a page? Like you can upload all the same type of content like Facebook?
Pictures and videos and shit, sure. All your tweets are stored there, and you can put pictures and videos and shit there.
Okay,
no one ever uses it, but it's there.
Well, that just goes to show you how much I know about that shit, because I don't deal with it.
I don't know, you were a tweeting machine today.
Well, I tweeted like 4 times today. I just answered a couple of things.
I saw this was one of those days that you tweeted more than me.
Well, I had several tweets to me, and so I just answered them.
Yeah. Nathan from Kentucky hit on the head. Twitter allows nudity.
Okay.
That's why they're better. I don't know why people want to use WhatsApp, because I couldn't get it to work myself. So.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. I never even heard of it until just now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's if you, for any software you would want to use, anything, Skype, Photoshop, whatever, if you just type in the name of the software and then the word alternative and do a search, you'll come up with there's quite literally companies out there that put together web pages of nothing but alternatives to everything.
Okay.
And because they get web traffic, and then they sell ads on their page and make money. So if you wanted to find the alternative to Photoshop, you would just type in Photoshop alternative, and it'll bring up a page, and it'll have fucking 10 things that you can use instead of Photoshop, whether it's Pixar or whether it's GIMP or whatever. You know, there's always alternatives to everything anymore.
But in the long run, just from your personal experience, I'm asking about your personal experience.
Yeah.
What makes one better than the other?
Money. The stuff that generally has money behind it almost always works better.
Okay.
You know, I mean, look, how many things did we try before Skype?
Well, I'm going to agree with you there, but my point is if there is one out there, let's say Skype, for a phone calling software, that is like the most popular one. It became the most popular one because of one reason, mostly I would think, is because it's the most developed, it's the easiest to use, it's the most accessible. So when you got one that isn't quite as popular like a WhatsApp, what could a WhatsApp give you that Skype doesn't give you?
Maybe it allows widgets on your web page or something so that you don't have to have software to use it.
Okay.
Which I know Skype does. Skype actually has a Skype web too. I don't know if you're aware of that, but if you wanted to use, like, it's hard to, dude, everything, it's really the whole feature set. It's like, I use Skype and I have a Skype in number and all that stuff, but I also use Google Voice. And I for different reasons. Like, as an example, like, those are probably the two to compare because they have money. Google obviously has money, and so does Skype. Microsoft has money. So you come down to the feature set. For me personally, I find that Skype's sound quality is better than Google's. When I was doing interviews using my Google Voice number, the interviews sounded like shit.
Okay.
Every interview we did sounded like it was like George Lynch's fucking phone in a tunnel. It just sounded terrible. So advantage to Skype. But the opposition to that would be Skype, for whatever reason, and I can't figure this out to save my life, they still charge for texts. Every time you send a text through Skype, even if you have a Skype in and out number, they charge you a dime to send a text.
Okay.
Where Google Hangouts or Google Voice is free texting. So you could send, I mean, because of me, I have multiple phone numbers all the time. and you'll get texts from me sometimes from one of two numbers, you know. I text from wherever, but a lot of times, and what it really breaks down to is what computer I'm on, because Google, and this is another platform with FaceTime. Google Hangouts works across the board, but FaceTime only works on a Mac. Now I like FaceTime's texting better, so when I'm on my Macs, I'll text you with my FaceTime text. But when I'm on my PC, I'll text you with my other phone number, because it's accessible to my PCs. So in a way, it's weird for me because I'm such a whore with this shit. I end up with everything on my computer. Okay. I have Skype, I have Hangouts, I have Google Voice, I have WhatsApp, I have everything on all my computers. And I use, and I mean, you can tell this from me. Don't I send you texts from different phone numbers all the fucking time?
You do. When you send me a text, obviously from the iPhone, I get the iChat.
Right.
And when you send me a text from another phone, I just get that green, the green thing. Yeah.
Right. But it's all the same phone even. I have both on my phone, and both give me and send texts. It just really boils down to, I don't have... Going to my phone slows me down, and then texting on my phone is slower than just doing it on the computer. On the computer, I get boom, and I'm done. So I like to use the stuff that's integrated to the computer. So whatever computer I'm using is the better one for me.
Okay.
So to answer your question, it all boils down to the exact feature set that each one has. Skype has some good features, but Skype, like with the texting, I can't believe this far into it that Skype is still trying to charge you for texts. What is that? The phone company doesn't even charge you for texts anymore.
Nope.
Remember in the old days you had to pay for your texts?
Yeah. And
you were always cautious because you didn't want to send too many texts. Remember those days?
Yep.
Well, you never had to worry about that. I'd bet the most you've ever sent a month is 100 texts.
Probably.
I was at last week at 1,400 texts for August. And that's only with the iPhone.
And that's only 11 days in.
Yeah, but that was only with the iPhone too. That doesn't even count the Google Voice texts. It's just the iPhone.
All right.
I'm a machine with this fucking phone, dude. I live on it.
I guess you do.
I really do.
All right, well, getting back to the story.
Yeah.
MoMo is the name of both the doll-like creature and the viral challenge she features in, which encourages kids to add a contact on WhatsApp who will then hound them with violent images and dares, the last one being for the child to commit suicide.
Right.
The challenge first originated after a picture of a rather terrifying female sculpture was circulated on the internet. The grotesque woman has enlarged features, including bulging eyes and a wide grimace, and was taken from a creation made by Japanese doll artist Midori Midori
Hayashi, guilty.
Midori is known for creating dolls related to horror and recently displayed his work in an art gallery in Tokyo.
Right.
To enhance the creepy factor of the dolls, the artist uses animal remains to create the bodies of his figures. Animal remains.
Yuck.
But he is especially focused on creating lifelike eyes in each of his dolls, which is a notable feature on the MoMo doll.
Okay.
Which possesses huge bulging eyes and enlarged black pupils.
Wow.
In addition to the huge eyes, the dolls also have a large, thin mouth that curves upward along her slim face, fixed in a permanent and incredibly creepy grimace.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that a character in the McDonald's character, the Grimace?
Yeah, the purple guy.
Yeah. However, Midori, despite creating the doll, is not associated with the recent game that has circulated the web and uses Momo face as its focus. The challenge, which reportedly has already attracted young people in the United States, Argentina, France, Mexico, and Germany, is thought to be linked to the death of a 12-year-old girl from Escobar, Argentina.
Right.
So out of all the whole world, one girl has died.
Okay.
I guess.
Oh.
I'm gathering that from the story.
Okay.
The Buenos Aires Times reported that police are looking at the link between the girl and the MoMo challenge, with reports claiming that she posted videos of herself doing a series of challenges known to be featured in the suicide game before taking her own life. I guess you win.
Yeah. Score.
You took it all the way to the end. You win.
Good for you.
Authorities in other countries are worried about the potential damages of the new challenge as it continues to circulate on social media.
Oh, well, then it's real.
Such as WhatsApp.
All right.
A social account for Spain's Guardia recently posted about the viral challenge and warned its followers to stay away from similar accounts.
Right.
Hey, don't look at this.
Yeah, don't.
Don't add MoMo, the group employed to a teenager following.
So they can't block this, but they can block Alex Jones.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. As long as I understand.
Yeah. However, it is not just those playing the games who have come face to face with the terrifying MoMo character. In recent months, images of the terrifying creature have been posted on a variety of internet forums, occasionally accompanied by creepy stories about her background.
Wow.
Where are the parents?
Beats me.
Where are the parents?
Apparently they're not paying attention.
No, of course not. Those who claim to have taken part in the challenge say they have been bombarded with threatening messages and even the odd phone calls, as well as warning that the terrifying character will appear if they do not follow its instructions. It'll appear.
Yeah, boo.
Where does it appear at?
Just in your room, apparently.
Does it just jump out at you or come in through the door, or what's the deal?
Comes in like a ghost.
I don't know if you were hip to this as a young person. One of the things I remember as a kid that was like the whole spooky thing is that they go, well, if you go like in your bathroom and light a candle and then you stare into a mirror and you go, Bloody Mary, come to me. Bloody Mary, come to me.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this.
Yeah. Well, this is the MoMo doll.
Yeah.
You know, this thing will appear.
Yeah.
You'll summons this thing.
Right. Don't touch the Ouija board.
Right.
Wow.
This comes after Slender Man Challenge took over the internet a few years ago and resulted in some children being stabbed by their friends.
Right.
It's the kind of friends I had. How about you, Chris? Did you have friends that would stab you?
Not many.
This is a whole new weird thing. You know, when you and I were growing up, it was just like, we never heard of kids stabbing each other.
Right.
You know, or having weird characters show up.
Right.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
The fictional character, which originated from an art contest in 2009, featured the creepy figure with long limbs and a blank face.
Yeah, pal.
After the art started to circulate similar to what was happening with MoMo, teenagers and children started to get affected by the creepy stories created about the figure. It became such a problem that Morgan Geyser, a 15-year-old from Wisconsin, lured her friend into the woods in 2014 with another girl and stabbed her 19 times. Her friend survived the attack after being left for dead.
Oops.
Afterwards, Morgan claims she did it to impress the fictional character, the Slender Man, and has since been sentenced to 40 years in a psychiatric hospital.
Jesus Christ. The hell? Oh my God. People.
So where's the parents?
Not giving a fuck, apparently.
Well, they don't.
Nope.
That's...
They're off doing their own thing.
Well, again, I never had children, not that I'm aware of.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, even at the young age in my early 20s, I was just like, you know what? I'm never having kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta raise them, right?
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I was raised in a house of 7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was around. I saw what quote unquote good parenting was.
Right.
But when I got to be of age, I was just like, fuck that. I ain't getting involved with that.
Yeah, I sure wasn't wearing a condom or pulling my dick out, so I was destined to have kids. There was no thought process of, oh, well, let's be careful here.
I was always careful. It's just like, fuck that.
Not me. The old lady's pussy just felt fucking wonderful.
Well, that's all well and fine. I've had a share, trust me, but not to the point where it's just like, hey, you know what? If you get banged, then knocked up, what the fuck? Yeah, we'll just make it work.
I just was blind to it. I was like, all right, I'm married. Whatever. Kid, who cares?
Who cares?
I really was like that, too. I was like, whatever. I am going to fucking pound that pussy, and I am coming inside there. There was never a thought of, well, I'm going to pull out and put it on your... No. The minute we were engaged, I stopped pulling out at all. Fuck that. Nope.
No skeet fucking for you.
Nope. None
Pull!
at all. No. Dude, please. I was fucking trying to do paintball on her uterus.
All right.